Hey guys, today I'm going to do my August wrap up. In August I managed to finish 10 books, which is insane. I had such a good reading month, and that was mostly because I had summer vacation, so I had lots of free time to read. But let's just get started with the video, and then I'm going to show you all the books I read in the month of August. The first book that I read was Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. And if you have seen my video about popular books I don't like, then you already know that I really did not like this book. Stalking Jack the Ripper is about a girl named Audrey Rose Wadsworth. She lives in Victorian London and she is the daughter of a very wealthy lord, but in secret she likes to investigate human bodies with her uncle. And then the Jack the Ripper murders start to happen and Audrey Rose goes on an investigation with her new friend Thomas to find out who the murderer is. And yeah, as I said, I really hated this book because it felt so disrespectful towards its time period. Audrey Rose is the worst main character I've ever read about. She's absolutely terrible. She is supposed to be a strong feminist, but in my opinion she really isn't, because she is constantly being mean to other women and being really disrespectful towards other women from her time period. Because Audrey Rose is better, because she has a real goal in life and she does something important, whilst other women only care about dresses and tea parties, so they must be really stupid. Also, Audrey Rose's feminism mostly consists of her whining about how she doesn't need men in her life and how she can take care of herself, and she does that like every 5 seconds. It felt like this book was trying to fix history by putting a modern day girl in Victorian times, because all the real women from Victorian times were too stupid to think for themselves, so I really don't know what that was all about. But I really love history, and if you're going to treat history like that, I get really angry. Also, the murder mystery was really predictable. I knew who the murderer was about like 30 pages in. You could really guess that very easily. So yeah, it's safe to say that I really did not like this book, and if you want to hear more about my thoughts, you should go watch my video about popular books that I don't like, because I go in way more depth ranting about this book in that video, and I will put a link to that down below in the description box. But yeah, I gave this 1 out of 5 stars because it's terrible. I really cannot recommend this book to anyone. And then I went on summer holiday, and whilst I was on summer holiday I managed to read 4 books, but I already made a whole separate wrap-up video about that. So if you want to know about all the books that I read whilst I was on holiday, you should go watch that video. And again, I will put a link to that down below in the description box. But just real quick, the books that I read whilst I was on holiday were The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, which is actually J.K. Rowling, Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alir Sáenz, and Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. And I enjoyed all these books very much, and I gave them all 4 out of 5 stars. But again, if you want to hear me talk about them in more detail, you should go and watch that video. And because I had liked The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith so much, I also read this month The Silkworm by Robert Galbraith, which is actually J.K. Rowling. This is the second book in a series about a private detective named Cormoran Strike, and in the Silkworm again he has to solve a murder mystery and he has to solve a case, so it's a detective novel. And again, like with A Cuckoo's Calling, I really enjoyed this book because I just really enjoy J.K. Rowling's writing. It's so very detailed and you just really go on a investigation with Cormoran Strike, and I really enjoy that. I was really in the mood for some murder mysteries and some detective novels this month, so this book was just perfect. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book again, and I gave this one also 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read in August was Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. And this was the book that was in the July Fairy Loot box, and it's about a girl named Serena who works at this circus which is called the Gomorrah Festival. And Serena is a illusion worker, which is very rare, but that means that she can create very realistic illusions. She can even create illusions of people who feel very real, but they are not because they're still illusions. But then one day one of her illusions is killed and she didn't know that was possible, and that's where this book starts, and again it's basically a murder mystery. Now, I really loved the premise of this book because I thought it was very original. The idea of realistic illusions really spoke to me, and I thought it was very well executed. Of course, I always love a good circus themed book, and the circus here, or like the festival, was very well described, and it really got me in a sort of circus mood. And I also loved the magic that was in this book, and also like Serena's whole family of illusions were all very cute and likable. But I have to say, this book is not very special in my opinion. I mean, I had a lot of fun reading it and I really enjoyed it, but it's not anything really amazing. It's just a fun, nice book if you're in the mood for that, but it didn't really stand out for me. Also, again, with this murder mystery, I also knew who the murderer was, like from page 20 or something, because it's again very predictable. So it's nothing special, but it's just a nice read, and it has a very fun and original premise. So yeah, I can really recommend it to see if you're in the mood for that, or if you really like circus theme books. And I gave Daughter of the Burning City 3 out of 5 stars. And of course, I'm also still listening to the audiobooks of Harry Potter, and this month I finished the audiobook of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And do I really need to say more about that? I don't think so. If you want to hear like all my thoughts on all the Harry Potter books and how I would rank them, I will put a link down below to my Harry Potter ranking video down below in the description box. I really love Prisoner of Azkaban. I really love every Harry Potter book, but this one is in my top 3 of my favorite Harry Potter books. So yeah, naturally 5 out of 5 stars. Again, what else is new? And I'm just really enjoying my Harry Potter audiobook reread, and I'm now reading Goblet of Fire, which is my favorite Harry Potter book. So yeah, I'm just very excited about all the Harry Potter things. And then I also read Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. I had been wanting to read the His Dark Materials series for ages, and this month I finally started with it. Northern Lights takes place in a world which looks very much like our world, but is slightly different, because in this world everybody has their soul in the form of a animal demon who lives outside of their body, but is basically like a part of you and your best friend, and you can talk to them. And the main character of this book is an 11-year-old girl named Lyra. She lives at the Jordan College in Oxford in her world, but then one day children start to disappear, and Lyra goes on an adventure and meets many more characters, and she tries to find out the mystery of the missing children. And we also learn that there is a prophecy about Lyra which she must not know about. So that is basically what this book is about, and I really enjoyed reading it. I thought this book was an incredible fantasy book, and just the writing is amazing, and I could feel all the magic, and I just absolutely love this world. Lyra is amazing. I absolutely adore her. She's so great, and she's really brave and also really smart and really cunning. And I loved the magic system, and I loved like everything with the demons, and it felt really beautiful, and I just felt sort of warm inside whilst reading it, because it's such a magical and beautiful read. Sometimes this book could be a little bit slow, but I didn't mind that too much, because we really got the time to meet all the characters, because there are so many characters in this book. I'm very happy that I finally started to read this series, because I'm really enjoying it, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. So the next book that I read, and also the last book that I read in the month of August, was the sequel to that, and that is The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman. I was so intrigued by the first book that I really wanted to continue the series straight away, and I have to say I was kind of surprised with the direction this book took. I didn't really expect the book to go the way it went. And of course, I cannot really say something about the plot, because it's the second book in a series and I don't want to spoil the first one. I can say that I really liked a new character named Will. He was amazing, and I thought he was a great addition to the series. I have to admit that I was a little bit less interested in the second half of the book, because it felt a little bit more boring and a little bit more slow, and I just really wasn't in the mood for that, so maybe that's why. So I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, because I still really enjoyed it, but just a little bit less than Northern Lights. So this was it for my August wrap up. As you can see, I read a lot of amazing books and one really terrible book, but yeah, let's just forget about that one. So this was it for this video. If you liked this video, please go subscribe or give it a thumbs up, because I would really appreciate that. And then hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!